text, it look organized. But today we are going to bring it to life because in this lesson you will learn how to add images, videos, audios, and clickable links to your web page. Welcome back. If you have been following every lesson so far, you are doing exactly what real developers do. Now, what we have been doing so far, we have been using text everywhere. We just put text. But now I want to say that great websites use this media to communicate faster because developers don't just write code; they create experience. Now, let's start with images. First of all, we want to organize our files because I'm not just going to leave our project messy. We want to organize our file. So the first thing we're going to do here, we are going to create a folder called images. So this is where all our images are going to be saved. So we'll create this folder called images. Now just download any image of your choice, then drag it inside your image file, the each image folder you have created here. So just drag it inside here. You can see this is an image I've this is my image.png that I've created here. Now let me display this image under here where I say Vincent developer profile. I'm going to add this image here. Now to use an image, we have an image tag in HTML which is img like this, and this image tag is like this. I know this is going to be a first time you have seen a tag that is like this. You don't actually need a closing tag. That's not how an image tag is. So we are going to have a source. Now this source is where this image is coming from. And if you look at it, this image is in my folder called images. So we are going to say images slash the name of this image. So the images slash the name of this image. That's the source when this image is coming from. Then we are going to add an alt tag here. I'm going to tell you what this means. Alt tag here is just going to say my profile picture. So when you save, when you open this back here, let me just open this like this. Yeah, you are seeing that my image is already being displayed in my website. I'm going to show you how we are going to resize this and change the size. But this is how we display image inside our website. Now let's take this one by one. Now the source in here, the source tag here is telling the browser where this image lives, where this image is coming from. That's what the source tag here is doing here. The alt here describe this image. For an example, where maybe the browser is unable to load this image. Let me just add an error here intentionally. You can see now that when I add an error here intentionally, the browser can't load this image. What's displayed here is the alt, is what we have in the text we have included in the alt. You can see my profile picture. That's why the alt tag is very important when importing an image. So when the browser find it difficult to load the image, or when the browser is still trying to load the image, what it first display is this alt tag here. So that's why this alt tag is also very important. Now the next thing I want us to do here is to change the way this image size is. Now you can see this image is very big. We can't even view it properly. Now I want us to be able to change this image size. Now we have another we are going to add something. We are going to add a width here. I'm going to say our width to be 250. Now just look at what we have done here. We have reduced our width to be 250. You can see now they have made the image smaller and it's displaying properly. Later in this course, I'm going to show you when we control our size with CSS. We don't need to control our size with HTML. But for now, now that we are just doing HTML, this is how we can control our size using HTML. So I just want to show you that we must not have this image in our system locally. We can also bring this image in here, display this image directly from online. So for an example, I have searched an apple here. So I search for apple and I go to the image section. So I can just click on this and I'll copy image address. When I copy the image address, I can just come in here in my source here and paste it in here. So you can see how this URL is very long. So when we go back to our website, you can see now that it's just displaying this image here directly from online without saving it in our system. So we can explore that. Now, something I want to show you here, what if clicking this image we open another website? For example, I want to make this image a link whereby when you click on it, let's open another website. So what I'm going to do here is very easy. I'm going to add an anchor tag here. You can see I'll add an anchor tag here, which is just a. I'll cut this the closing tag and I'll put it at the end here. So I have this anchor tag here that is wrapping. This image is being nested inside the anchor tag. Here now, for my URL is going to be. So let me just, when I click on this my link, I want it to go to google.com. So what I'm going to do in here, I'm just going to add a google.com URL in here. And when I click on this link that is here, it's going to navigate me to google.com. So I'm just going to do a practical here. I click this and our page changed to google.com. Now I want to explain this. The internet is built with links. The internet is built on links. Now, the first tag, this tag I've used here is called an anchor tag. For an example, we'll create an anchor tag A. We'll give it an href. Let me just close this. A will give it an href and we'll say go to Google, or let me just say visit Google. Now you can see now that we have a link here that says visit Google. But for this to work properly, we need to have a URL we want it to visit when we click this link here. Now we have created a link here that says visit Google. Anytime we click this link here, it's going to redirect us to Google, just like we have done here. So I'm going to remove this here and I'm just going to leave it like this. So anytime we click on this link here, we are going to be redirected to Google. So that's how we can create clickable links in HTML. That's how we can create clickable links with HTML. Now I want to show you that in these hyperlinks that we have created here using an anchor tag, we can also add something called target. I'm going to show you what it does shortly. Target, and in a target we are going to say blank. You can see now that we have VS Code is suggesting different targets we want to put here. You can explore this one by one, but the one I want to use here is blank. Now just guess what this is going to do when we click on this visit Google. Now when we go here and click on visit Google, it leaves this our page here and open Google in a separate page. That's what just we are trying to do here. That's why we are adding this target here. We don't want it to open in this page. We want it to create another tab here and open Google there. So that's what this target here is just helping us achieve. Now I also want to show you how we can link different pages together. For an example, we have a profile page, we also have a home page, we also have an about me page. How we can have different pages and link them together. Now I'm going to go in here and I'll create another page. In here I have an index.html page which I've been using as my home page. Now I'm going to create another page, another file here. I'm going to call it about.html. Now, after creating this about.html, I'm going to give you a very easy exercise in here. I want you to pause this video and create a basic HTML structure here. So just pause this video and do that before we continue. Now, I believe all of us have done that, but I'm going to still do it again. So now what I ask you to create here is just to create a little bit a HTML structure with my doc type. I have my doc type here. The next thing here is to have HTML. Next thing is to declare HTML. Inside my HTML here, I want to have my head. Inside the head, I want to have my title. Inside my title here, I'm just going to say about page. Then after the title, I'm going to create a body. So this is just what I asked you to create. If you did this exercise and you did it correctly, just know that you are progressing. If you still find it difficult to do this, I would advise you to go back to the previous section, make some practice, pause this video, go back and do some practice. Make sure that you know how to build the basic HTML structure. You have to understand how to declare, how to start a basic HTML structure before you continue. Now to create this about page, I'm just going to have a H1 here I'm just going to have an H1 here. This H1 here is going to say about me. I'm going to have a paragraph that is going to say this is my second web page. Let me just add this like this. Now we are going to go back to our index.html file and we want to add a link that when we click on that link is going to display this page. Now we're going to add another anchor tag here. The place we added visit Google. I just want to leave this visit Google like this, but let me add another anchor tag here. let me say in this about me section, here, let me add another anchor tag here. Before the skills I learned, let me add a tag here. Just under here, let me add an anchor tag that's going to navigate us to our about section. So this anchor tag here just say go to about page. So that's just what we are going to have here. Go to about page. Now we're going to link this to open the about page. Just like I showed you in the source, we'll be able to identify where it's coming from. So just here, you're going to just put the URL, which is about.html. So now in the href, when you just put about.html, we have created an about, go to about page here. So when we click on this go to about page, you can see now that our page automatically changed to about me page. So that's how we create links in HTML. So you can see now that you have just created a multiple page website. Now the next thing we are going to do here, we are going to add a video to our website. Just like we did here when we create an image folder, I want us to create another folder here. In the root here, I want to create another folder here, and I'm going to call this video. Now look for a videos. You can choose to download the videos and put it in here. So I'm just going to drag in the first video we started with. I'm just going to drag this video and put it in here. So we have two options here when displaying a video. So I'm going to show you the option one, which is using a local video. Now if you look at this, I have dragged in a video just the way I drag and import an image. That's the same thing I did. I drag in a video and I put it inside here. So now this is the local way of displaying to use it to display a local video. Now let's display this. We are going to do some our video tag here. Let's go back, but before we do this, let's go back to our index file. Let me just click back. I want to do this in here. After about me, skills I'm learning, my daily routine. Let me just do it here before the about me. So I'm going to add a video tag here. So how to add this tag? You just say video, you close it. Now in your video will have a width. This is very important. A video must have a width. I'm just going to say 400. The video will have a control. The video will have a controls. You just leave it like that. You can see now that I've not yet import video, but I've import controls. So you can see now the controls here that I've import here. Now the next thing here is to bring in the video. Now inside this video tag, I'm just going to say source. Inside this source now, I'm going to target it and bring the video in here. Now this video is coming from, if you can remember, it's coming from our videos here, and the name of this video is video/1.mp4. So I'm just in my slash here, I'm just going to say videos slash, you can see you just give me another suggest here 1/mp4. Now if you look at this now, I've imported this video inside here and I can just click on it and play it. Now another thing I want to add here is type. Just hold on, I will explain this. I'm going to add a type here, and the type here is going to be video/mp4. So that's the type I want to add in here now. So if you look at this, I've achieved bringing in a video inside my website. So I can just play this. Let me just turn off I can play this. So because of the control in here, so I can just play this.
Hello everybody, welcome to my
So I can just play this video. You can see I've achieved bringing in this video. I have control in here. I can download. I can speed up. This is because of this control in here. If you remove this control here, if we didn't bring in this control in here, we'll not be able to do this thing. We'll not be able to access this video. We'll not be able to control this video. So adding this control here is very, very important. Adding these controls here is very, very important. It gives us these controls that we can use to control this video. So that's just how to bring in a video into our application. Now in this section, I want to show us how we can write comments in our code. Now I just want to do this like this. Then I'll bring in this. I will say slash slash. You can see now that I have this green that I've changed to green, and I'm going to say local. I'm going to call it local videos or local video. Sorry. Now I'm going to call it local video because this comment just help us to write something in our code without displaying it in the browser. So I'm going to come down here again. I'm going to call this online. Let me just say online. let me just call this online video, which is the recommended way. Now the recommended way is to just use this online. So you can't just be putting videos into your code like this. You can see how big your code file is going to be. So the recommended way is to have this video somewhere online, maybe in your database or somewhere online, and just bring them in online. So I just want to show you another way you can still bring in your video if this video is already somewhere online. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to my YouTube here. This is one of my videos, the first video I created here. I'm going to click share, and I'm going to click this embed, and I'm going to copy. You can see now that this embed gives off an iframe here, and also, so I'm just going to copy this like this, the way it is in here. So after copying it and coming back to our website, let me just paste this here. Let's remove this. Now, a way we display video online, you can see now that this video is being displayed from YouTube. So what this video is just doing here, we just have an iframe, and this iframe here is coming, and this iframe here will declare it that it's coming from YouTube. So that's just how we declare how we import a video that is already online. When I click to watch this video now, you can see
Hello,
now that
everybody. Welcome to my channel.
this video is already in YouTube, but I can
My name
also
is
watch it
Vincent,
here
and I'm really
in my website. So that's just how it is. And when I'm watching it, I can still use all the YouTube. You can see I can watch it directly here in my website. That's just what is happening, and that's just how we can import a video online. In case you want to try this or import video from any social media platform, make sure that you look for this embed here and embed the video. When you embed this video, it's going to give you a frame. It's going to give you an iframe. Let me still show you an example using Facebook. For example, I want to import this video from Facebook. I click on this icon here. I click on the embed. You can see now that it's going to still give me an iframe code in here. So that's just how we import. If you just copy the share link and import it in your website, it's not going to work. So you have to import it correctly like this. Another tag we're going to do here is the audio tag. How to import an audio into our website. Now, the audio now is not that, it's very easy. We just have the audio tag. We have the audio tag like this, and you have the source tag like this. So this source tag, we are just going to use it. I want to believe you all have understand how to use this source tag now. We are just going to use this source tag to select an audio and import it. So let's go here, just like we have been doing. Let's create another folder here in our root. We'll create another folder called audio. Make sure that your folder is exactly the way my own is. In case you are having any issue or coming across any error or your video not displaying, make sure that your folder is exactly like this. I will also drop a community link in the description where you can join this community and ask questions whenever you are having an issue. So what we are going to do here now, we are going to look for an audio, and we are going to put this audio inside here. So I'm just going to what I did is just to drag this sound from my file. I drag it inside there just the way we have been doing, and I'm going to rename it. I'm just going to call it let's say promo. I'm just going to leave it like this. I'm calling it promo.mp3. So it's the same thing we have been doing. We'll go to our source here and we'll say audio slash promo.mp3. You can see now that this audio is coming from promo.mp3. Now nothing is being displayed here. I'm just going to say type. Then in my type, I will say audio. Type of this audio is mp3, so we'll say audio mp3. Now you can see now that we have imported this audio, but nothing is showing there. If you remember, that's the same thing that happened to us where we import this image until we put these controls here. So that's the same thing we are going to do in here. We are going to just add the controls for the audio so that to be able to display it and have this control. So now we can see now that we have this audio in here. We have successfully import this audio in here, which if you click here, you're going to see the download button. You're going to see the speed and speed, playback speed. So if you play this audio, you're just going to see that. So that's just the audio that I used there. So this is how we can import video, audio, and even images inside our website. Now the next section we are going to go into is to build a mini life project. Now this project we are going to be building is going to have an audio, image, and also a video in it, and this section is very, very important. So now I just want us to upgrade our profile page to include images and videos. So I'm just going to clear this again, and I'm going to still start this profile page again from beginning. Now what I'm just going to do here, I want to believe we can do this, but still try to do it yourself. Pause this video and do it. I'm just going to start a new HTML document again. I'm going to have my head. In here, I'm going to have my title. So now we're going to have our body, and inside our body, we're just going to have an H1. I'm going to make this very simple. So in this H1, just the same thing I did before. I'm going to have Vincent. I'm going to have Vincent, developer, profile. In here now, I want to have a profile. In the profile now, I want to have an image. So I'm just going to bring this my image. If you remember, it's in my source. And inside my source, I have an image folder. It's inside my image. Inside that folder, my image is there. So this is. Let me refresh this. You can see I have my image here. And if you remember, I showed you how we can add width to it. So I'm just going to add a width to it. And this width is going to be 200. I want it to be tiny. So after that, I'm going to have a paragraph. I'm just going to create a paragraph here. I will say welcome. Welcome to my, just what I did before. This is what I'm doing again. Welcome to my personal website. I'm learning web development. Allow me. I'm learning web development step by step. So we can do it like this. Then H2 now. I'm going to have an H2 here. I'm going to have an H2 here. And in this H2, I'm just going to say, watch this video. So you can see, watch this video. And in here now, I want them to watch the video I import from YouTube. So I'm just going to go back to YouTube. And in my YouTube here, I'm just going to click here. I'm going to click on share. Now in my share here, I'm going to click on this embed. I'm going to click on this embed so that I'll be able to get this code right here. Then I'll copy this code. When I copy this code, I'll come back here and I'll paste this inside here. So you can see now the video is displaying there. So now that's just what I just wanted us to create here. We have created another profile again. We have updated our profile again. We have the name, display an image. I will just display an image that say watch this video. That's when I hover to it, I still see my subscribers and all that. Now look at what you have just built. You are no longer practicing, you are actually creating now. Today, your website has become dramatically more powerful. Like your website now have images, your website have links. We have multiple page where we can navigate to different page. Your website now have videos. Your website have audios. Now I believe all of us, our website have started looking real. Now in the next video, we will learn one of the most powerful parts of HTML, which is forms, and the feature that allows user to interact with your website. And once we learn this, and our website will start looking static, and we'll start building interactive pages. And I will see you in that next lesson.